Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain an American supernatural horror film from 2015 titled, The Gallows. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. On October 29, 1993, Beatrice High School student, Charlie Grimille was participating in a performance of the play called, The Gallows, alongside a fellow student named Mary. After delivering their lines, Charlie was placed on a prop, but unfortunately, the prop malfunctioned, resulting in his accidental hanging and subsequent death. His parents, along with the entire audience, witnessed this tragic event, and screams filled the air. 20 years later, on October 28, 2013, the school decided to stage a new performance of The Gallows. Football jock Reese auditioned for the play, hoping to get closer to his crush, Pfeifer Brown, who was also cast in the production. To Reese's surprise, he landed the lead role, which was more than he had expected. However, he found himself struggling with his lines. We meet Mr. Schwendeman, the director of the film, who urged the cast to behave well for the upcoming show and expressed confidence in their performance. As the show approached, the rest of the cast busied themselves with preparations. They test their costumes backstage, while Pfeifer rehearsed her role diligently. Then, we are introduced to the original cast of The Gallows, who narrate the horrific incident that occurred during the 1993 show. Even though Reese is happy with the role, he feels the need for a way out of the TV play. His friend Ryan Shoos comes up with the idea to vandalize the set, and sabotage the whole play during the night after noticing the backstage door is broken. Despite his reluctance, Reese agrees to the plan, and Ryan's girlfriend Cassidy agrees to accompany them. In the night, Ryan went to Reese's home to pick him up but found Reese's stepdad advising him not to quit football, especially since he had shown interest in acting. Despite the conversation, the group left in Ryan's car and headed to the auditorium, and upon arriving, they entered through the back door. Reese, Ryan, and Cassidy began vandalizing the stage, even losing the noose. Suddenly, they heard a loud sound from somewhere in the wings of the stage, and they all headed to the back and were surprised to find Pfeifer there. When Ryan asked why she was here, she explained that she saw Ryan's car at the school and followed them. Pfeifer decided to question Reese about what they were doing here. Reese lied, saying he was here to rehearse because he was still struggling with his lines and didn't want to let her down, and Pfeifer believed him. They attempted to leave but discovered they had been locked inside. Trying other exit doors and even the windows, they found everything locked. Disturbed, Cassidy admitted the trio's real reason for being in the school at this time, which angered Pfeifer. Returning to the stage, the group saw that the set had suddenly reassembled, and Cassidy tried to call for help using the cell phone, but there was no service. The four went to the office to look for keys and to use the telephone, but instead, they found a secret passage leading them to a dark alley where they found a door. Upon opening it, they found an old television on, and as they stood in front of the television, it began displaying the play, The Gallows, from 1993, playing back a tape with news coverage of Charlie's death, including an interview with his girlfriend Alexis. They discovered that Charlie was not supposed to have performed that day and was on stage only because he was the understudy for the main actor before the television turned off. Reese, who noticed something, decided to head to the billboard, where he found a picture of the original cast of The Gallows. It turned out that Charlie, who died, was Reese's father, Rick, leaving Reese in shock before the group realized Ryan was missing. Alone and searching for the group, Ryan enters the maintenance room. Inside, he discovers various items, including a hidden room with a mattress and bed frame. As he looks up, he spots a body hanging from above. Suddenly, the body moves, startling him. Eventually, Ryan reunites with the remaining group, and Reese decides to share the story of Charlie's death with him. Suddenly, the group hears a noise emanating from a nearby room, followed by footsteps above them which eventually cease. Out of nowhere, Cassidy is pulled into the air by what seems like an invisible force, leaving her with burns on her neck resembling rope marks. This ordeal intensifies her aggression towards the others. They return to the stage where Pfeifer points out an air conditioning duct they can use to escape. Frustrated, Ryan starts shouting for Charlie, despite the group's urging for him to stop. As Ryan attempts to climb the ladder to reach the duct, he is suddenly thrown off by an unseen force, breaking his leg. The group rushes outside the stage to look for first aids, but find themselves locked out, leaving Ryan helpless inside. Upon their return, they discover only Ryan's phone. The audience then watches footage from the phone. It is revealed that while Ryan is alone on the stage, he sees a figure holding a noose, which terrifies him. When he looks again, the figure vanishes, and suddenly, he is pulled by the neck and hung on the rafters. Later, Reese discovers a way out. He heads to the locker room, grabs a trophy, and as he is about to break a window, he hears a cell phone ring. He traces the call to his locker, and Pfeifer, who also hears the call, joins Reese in the room. He retrieves the phone from his locker and upon answering, he discovers it was a recording of his lines. Cassidy, still grieving Ryan's death and alone in a room, fails to notice the hangman behind her. She picks up the camera, and notices her neck injury has worsened. She is startled by a noise behind her, but when she looks at the camera again, she sees a rope around her neck before being dragged away. Reese and Pfeifer search for Cassidy but can't find her, so they decide to activate the fire alarm to signal the police. After turning it on, Pfeifer complains of seeing a shadow, and the hangman appears behind them and starts chasing them. The hangman chased them to the stage balcony, but they managed to escape. While looking for a way out, Reese and Pfeifer were startled by the bodies of Ryan and Cassidy hanging on the rafters. After calming down for a while, they discovered that the fire alarm they had turned on earlier was off. Believing the police had arrived, they head downstairs after locating a door. There, they didn't see any police but noticed the back door was open. They ran towards it, but when Reese turned his back, he didn't see Pfeifer. Hesitant to leave, Reese decided to return to the stage, where he saw Pfeifer being choked by the spirit. Suddenly, the stage light was turned on, and realizing Charlie wanted them to act out the final scene, in which Reese and Charlie's characters are hanged, Reese and Pfeifer reenacted the scene. However, when Reese put the noose around his neck, Pfeifer started calling him August, and Reese begged her to stop, but she continued before he was hanged and killed by Charlie. Once he was dead, Pfeifer and Charlie, now appearing as an adult, both bowed, and Alexis, who was watching the performance, gave a standing ovation. Later, the police arrived at the school, and one of them entered a room where he saw Pfeifer and Alexis, living, and watching footage of Charlie's death, revealing that Pfeifer is Charlie, and Alexis's daughter. When he attempted to question them about Charlie, Pfeifer warned, "You shouldn't say that name." The officer witnessed his partner being dragged by a noose, killing him. Charlie then attacked and killed the policeman as the screen cut to black. Okay guys, that's all the recap about The Gallows from 2015. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.